Welcome back to the Smugsy Show, where Minifan intellectuals come together. Today, we're going to have an exciting discussion about the announcement this week on May 5th that the Kirk Minihane Show wants to merge, basically wants to take over the Smugsy Show on the YouTube channel. And it's an exciting opportunity, and I first want to just express my sincere thanks and heartfelt appreciation to Kirk and to Steve, for their faith in the Smugsy Show and their willingness to be open to a new voice. But let's face it, in addition to being an intellectual, Smugsy obviously is, a business expert, and is going to have to analyze the offer and do kind of a cost-benefit analysis to make sure it makes sense. And the first question that comes to mind is, of course, why? What's the motive? And the motive appears obvious, that during a pandemic, people want their brands to be safe and solid and sane. And so, like Oreo cookies, think of the Smugsy Show as sort of bringing Oreo cookies to the show, Heinz ketchup to the picnic, Kim Crawford, Sauvignon Blanc. These are like just your standard brands, and that's kind of what the Smugsy Show is just like an iconic American brand that would bring a certain level of groundedness to the Kirk Minihane Show. And the value was evidenced this week. Clearly when Big Cat came on the scene on May 7th, 2 days after the announcement. So the Kirk Minihane Show announced on May 5th, Smugsy girl, come back, right? Those are my words, but, it's basically begging Smugsy to come back into the fold, right? There was the banishment because she broke up with the show, and, they're saying, come back, please come back. And then 2 days later, Big Cat wins the popularity contest for Kirk. That's what we call like temporal proximity. That's a complicated term, but in legal jargon, it means like close in time. So it establishes causation. It basically proves that the reason why Big Cat helped Kirk is because of the announcement 2 days earlier that there might be a merger with the Smugsy Show. There's really no way of getting around that. So clearly there's value in the Smugsy Show joining forces. I think there would be, synergy. Like that's a nice synergy. Like the combination of the two fan bases would be bigger than the two individuals. So lots of opportunity, but the downside has to be recognized as well, and that is, Smugsy, let's face it, Smugsy girl, she's independent. There's kissing ass is a talent or a skill that was mentioned on one of the shows, and it's not. Smugsy girl can certainly kiss ass, but she only will do it if there's something in it for her, and not with Kirk Minihane, because you lose respect, right? The reason why so Smugsy was made a fan of the show and was like a family member, and she's everybody's favorite cousin, and that's because she's like a warrior princess, and the Smugsy Show represents like strong, like strength and independence, and like success and good taste. So I don't know if it's worth it to maybe be associated with a YouTube show that has like a rape song. It seems like that would be something that might not be worth it. But since Smugsy wants to get to New York, because the Smugsy brand needs a broader market, the Smugsy merchandise, the Smugsy Smart and Sassy line, the t-shirts, the mugs, the masks, the whitey tighties with the cute, Smugsy logo, and like Smugsy with shades. It's going to be huge. And so getting to New York would broaden the market. And as the Smugsy girl on Twitter said in February when she was in New York at the Sirius Studios, there's a statue. She basically had a statue made of Smugsy girl and Kirk Minihane, an artistic representation, showing the two together to do it like a short radio show, like maybe like 10 or 15 minutes of radio show, and then sell the merchandise from New York. I think that's what the Smugsy Show is kind of going for, but I'm going to be honest. This pandemic has caused Smugsy and everyone else to do a lot of soul searching, and I'll admit it, there's a little pettiness to the Smugsy girl, little pettiness, and it's not just that she misses, saying fuck off. The Smugsy girl, she does. I mean, I do. I miss saying fuck off, which you can't say a lot during a pandemic. The other thing I'm really concerned about is just how we're going to reconcile wearing a mask and wearing lipstick. I mean, it keeps me up at night. I mean, lipstick, I mean, take your guns, how important your guns are. Okay, lipstick is like, it's like a gun, but it's even like more, I don't know, it's just more important. So I'm concerned, and part of the pettiness is I'm just going to admit that Smugsy makes pizza, and I might be using the Kirk Minihane Show to get to Stool Presidente. I want, the pizza to be, I want my pizza to be rated. So there's a lot to think about, and a lot of excitement, a lot of opportunity. I know all of you are really encouraging me to take up the offer, and I'll think about it, and I'll keep you posted, because, as an intellectual, you don't like rush to judgment. You analyze the facts, you use your mind, and you reach a conclusion, a decision. You stick with your decision, and that's what makes you strong. And that's it for today. I mean, that's all. What else is there to say? I mean, we're going to make the decision based on the facts. We're going to follow the evidence. So this is Smugsy signing off. Until next time. Good night.